If you're looking to make this year the year where you're releasing the best music you've ever produced and you're actually releasing it, well, I got 5 things I want to share with you that I think you should keep at the forefront of your mind to keep you focused and to hit your goals. Now, these are 5 things that I wish that I would have been told when I started producing music from home. When I was 15 years old, my band, we hired out a basement studio. We recorded everything live onto like an old ADAT. It was very sterile. When we were done, we didn't have enough budget to mix it, master it. So the engineer was just like, hey, you can come by, you can mix it yourself. So the drummer and myself, that's exactly what we tried to do. We jumped in, had no clue on what it is that we were doing. Even trying to patch in like a distortion pedal for a guitar to try to, warm up some vocals and all that kind of stuff. But it was an absolute mess. However, that did kick off the love for this DIY style home recording way of doing things that I have stuck with for many, many years. And while there are many things that I wish I would have known back then, and granted, technology has changed, like now is the best time ever to be a bedroom music producer because of the crazy amount of things that you get done with very minimal equipment. If you just see my setup here, it's very, very minimal. But these are the 5 things that I've distilled down. I think if you keep on the forefront of your mind today and throughout the year and just moving forward, you're gonna produce more and better music, guaranteed. All right, before we jump in, if you wanna support this channel, there are 3 main ways that you can do so. Number 1 is I have a affiliate partnership with Sweetwater, which is my vendor of choice when I'm purchasing any gear. You can click on that link and it'll take you to their page. If you're looking at buying anything in the next 14 days, there will be a small commission that this channel will make from that purchase, but it's no additional charge to you. It just kind of helps to keep this channel going and growing and keeping it independent. And the second way that you can support this channel is by investing in yourself. Now, I am in the process of creating a vocal editing and production course, which if there's one thing that's the most important thing in your musical productions, if you are a singer-songwriter or part of a band or whatever, is those vocals. However, that's also going to be the number 1 thing that's going to hold you back from releasing your music, because I know recording vocals, it's hard to hear your own voice back. And that's stopped me from releasing a lot of music, unfortunately. But I have learned tips, tricks, and techniques from Grammy-nominated producers that will help you make better choices in your vocal recordings, as well as get past those roadblocks. So if that's something that you are interested in, there'll be a link in the description below. Click that link and then sign up for the waitlist. If you sign up for the waitlist, I know that you are interested. And as I am developing this course, you will get lots of updates, lots of bonuses, as well as a great, great price on that launch. And then number 3 is you can just like and subscribe to this channel. All right, let's get into it. So number 1, the most important thing that will elevate all of your home productions is collaboration. I understand for myself that this is a hard thing to wrap your head around. You think you can do it all. This day and age with all the marketing, plugins, DAWs, everything, they're all saying you can do it all yourself, or with AI, you can do a bunch of things. Really, it's if you focus on finding ways to bring other people into your process, you will create better music. You'll be more likely to release that music, and you'll actually finish your music. I have fallen into the trap so many times that I think I can just do it all myself. I'll learn every part of the process, from the pre-production, the recording, to the editing, mixing, mastering. I'm trying to do it all. And there is so much nuance into every stage of the recording process that you just can't be great at all of it, especially in the beginning. If you're looking to release music, then you're wasting time by trying to do it all yourself. It'd be better for you to invest your money into people than into plugins and other gear. Like, hands down, just focus on what you are strong at. If you're the home bedroom producer who's a singer-songwriter like myself, focus on writing those songs, getting the bass level instruments recorded, whether it's guitar, piano, your vocals, and then from there, bring other people into your production process. If you want to, make it more produced with drums, bass, whatever it may be, find those people that can come in and fill those gaps for you. It's going to be a much better experience. They're going to bring extra creativity to the session that they'll hear things you won't hear, and it's going to elevate your music. It'll also help relieve mental bandwidth so you keep moving forward and not second guess every decision you're making in terms of your arrangement. Now, one of the places I would say probably the most important part to collaborate with, if say you're not doing some massive productions, is really in the editing, mixing, mastering phase. So if you're not good at editing, whether you want to hear it or not, all records these days, lots of editing going on. Like those polished sounds you're hearing is due to editing. And then mixing and mastering. So mixing and mastering, I would definitely outsource that in the beginning. It's a huge rabbit hole that you can go down, and you can really mess up your music if you just don't mix it properly, if it's not translating to other speakers. And there's something to be said about once you get some mixing, and if you're willing to pay somebody else to mix, that means that you have confidence in what you've done already. If you're not willing to pay anybody to mix what you've done, then that means that you have problems in the recording, the arrangement, the song, all that. So it doesn't even make sense to even get to the mix. You shouldn't even be touching EQ. Don't touch compression. Don't touch any of the plugins. You have problems somewhere else. And so that should be a good indicator that you're just not ready. And that could also be a place to where you can then know where to collaborate or where to put your efforts in that collaboration process to get your music to a place where it's ready to get mixed. Now, I know collaboration can be hard. Especially if you're thinking like, oh, I don't have, the ability to mic drums or do any of that kind of stuff. There's some really great platforms out there that you can leverage with remote musicians. You got SoundBetter, which I've used a lot, but one that I've been using a lot lately that I've been loving is Musiversal, which is a monthly subscription. If you're looking at really investing in your music and being able to collaborate on demand, Musiversal's great. It's like $200 a month, but you have unlimited access to like all kinds of musicians and services. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description for that below as well. And there should be a little discount code as well if you want to try it out. And that's also a good way to support this channel because I will get a small commission for that, but again, at no additional cost to you. So, all right, so that brings me up to number 2 of the things I wish somebody would have told me when I was just starting out. And that is formulas and frameworks are not bad. Now I know we're musicians and we all think we're special and that we're going to be writing the next great masterpiece, but turn on the radio and listen to a bunch of songs on the radio. You'll notice that arrangements are similar, certain production tricks you'll hear over and over again. Use that as a template or a framework for your music. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Stick with what works. Know that you're talented, but you're not that talented. None of us are. Use what works. Use that as a way to jump off and not spin your wheels and try to think about what to do next. So if it comes to song structure, you're trying to write a new song, just go listen to a song you like, break it apart, and then go in and then just make your own version of it. It will sound unique and different because it's you making it. What you have to bring to the table is uniquely you. So even if you were to try to like replicate a song from start to finish, it's going to come out different just because you're different. You hear things differently. You're going to phrase things differently. Your story's different. So don't be afraid to use templates. Don't be afraid to use frameworks and borrow from other popular music because everything's borrowed. So just listen to other music, pull from it. Don't be afraid to just use those as kind of your building blocks for your music. All right, so that brings me to number 3 on the things you should keep on the forefront of your mind as you are making music this year. And that is editing and arrangement is so much more important than mixing and mastering. I know we touched on this a little bit back on the collaboration, but if your arrangement's not right, then it doesn't matter how good of a mix or a master you get, it's just not gonna land with whoever's hearing the music because your arrangement is going to be how you put all the pieces together. There's no such thing as fix it in the mix. That is a faulty way of thinking. What you should be doing is trying to find ways to make everything that you're doing adding to the song as you're building it. And it should be like a part that's like, oh man, that part feels like it should have always been there. Not like, this part's kind of cool, I'm putting it in there, but it's kind of, messing with the main vocal melody. It's kind of messing with, the bass line or whatever it may be. We can just kind of fix that and massage that in later. If it's not working as you're just recording and overdubbing over what you've already done, then it's not working. That's an arrangement problem. Now let's say you're getting an arrangement working nice. Now you're getting to the editing stage. You don't want to ignore editing. You may think that you're trying to capture the most perfect performance and that you don't need any editing, but trust me, you want to edit, especially if you're overdubbing a lot of different instruments on top of each other. You want to make sure they all work together. And there's a systematic approach to editing that you can take to make sure that your song is ready for mix. Because again, in mixing, you shouldn't be, trying to align things, tune anything, making sure that it, like actually works together. At the mix stage, that's just balance. Everything should be ready for mix by a good edit. And now, the topic of editing, I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So if this is something you're more interested in learning about, just hit me up in the comments below and I'll think about making some more videos to dive deeper into this subject, as well as vocal editing, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. If you're somebody who struggles with hearing your voice coming back to the speakers, I guarantee you there's a way to make it to where you are happy with what you have. It is through editing. And I have edited for a Grammy-nominated music producer. I've done some vocal editing on some big releases, and I would love to share that with you. So make sure you click on the link down in the description to sign up for the waitlist for that course. All right, so number 4 thing to keep in the forefront of your mind is your gear is not what's holding you back. Yeah, you need a certain amount of gear to be able to actually record, but the gear is not the thing holding you back. Your room's not the thing holding you back. Not having a professional studio is not the thing that's holding you back. Not in this day and age. I have downgraded my studio crazy amount, and I'm still making music that I think is the best I've ever made. So the gear is not the thing holding you back. When it comes to plugins, I mean, they're fun. Don't get me wrong. I love gear. I love plugins. I buy plugins. I buy gear, but it's not really moving the needle. You got to start thinking of gear and plugins as kind of like you're a collector. You don't need that other compressor. You don't need that other equalizer. You don't need like the spectral EQ thing. You don't need any of that kind of stuff. Get one good EQ, get one good compressor, like a good saturator, or find like a good bundle that has all those things in it, or just use your stock plugins. Your stock plugins should be good enough. Anything on top of that, you're just a collector of plugins. It's fun to collect them. It's fun to use them. Yes, they all do different things that could enhance your overall production experience making music, but at the end of the day, when you release that music, nobody's going to really notice or care except for you. So don't let gear hold you back. Don't think you need to spend more money on gear. Again, if it's between gear and collaboration, always put your money into collaboration before you put money into gear. Now, the last thing I want to bring up to keep on the forefront of your mind as you make music this year and making the best music this year, because you're paying attention to the things I've already said, is music is not your identity. Now, I know as musicians, we hold these things tight to us. It's very personal, but it's not your identity. Don't get too wrapped up in any given project, any given song. Don't get too precious. Just make the music, try to make it as best as you can, finish it, move on. If you need to take a break, take a break. Even if it's for a month, 2 months, 3 months, find other hobbies to get involved with. Get involved in other things that have nothing to do with music. It will help you in your music. If you're not hitting the marks or hitting the amount of songs you think you should be writing in a given time, just let it go. Don't worry about it. There's always more time. Don't think that you need to chase, some type of like, I gotta write, 20 songs this year. I gotta write 100 songs this year. I gotta release this many songs. Just focus on the one you got. Make it as best as you can. Don't be too precious about it. It's going to put too much pressure on you to think like this is going to be the song that's going to be my big break. Don't think that way. Enjoy the feeling of hearing stuff come out of the speakers that came from your brain that you are enjoying. You'll have a much better time. You'll make better music. You'll just take the pressure off. So those are the 5 things that I think if you keep on the forefront of your mind, you will make better music this year. You will be happy with your output. I want to know in the comments below what of these 5 spoke to you. Maybe multiple spoke to you. Maybe there's something else that you wish that you'd have told your earlier self about music production. I would love to know what that is in the comments below as well. I appreciate you taking some time with me today. I hope this helps you, and I look forward to seeing what you create this year. So stay in touch. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.